I have to have a cup of coffee at least, I don't know, for at least 12 hours out of the day. Like, it's always the same cup. It just takes me that long to drink it between interruptions and yeah, I know. And I'm sure probably some of you have left a cup of coffee in the microwave today or yesterday, or you're not even sure what day it is. But we've almost made it through an entire week. Well, hello friend, I'm Mary Beth from the atwhatcostblog.com, and yes, I am absolutely in my hall closet today, and no, it is not because I'm trying to hide from my children. They are actually having a little bit of a mandatory rest. We're getting to that crucial point where they're a little tired of being home, they're getting bored, and they're going to start trying to drive me crazy, but it's not going to happen. We've been going through our School from Home series, and you can catch those other videos up here in the cards. I will leave those up top, and they'll just scroll through periodically. If you see a topic that interests you, click on it, and it'll take you right to that video. I wanted to talk a couple of strategies with you for giving your kids an opportunity to find their creativity. Doesn't that sound so much more pleasant than kicking them outside or sending them to their rooms? Like, we just have to reframe some of these ideas. So boredom can be a very frustrating thing for all of us involved. We've been home for a while now. I mean, it's really only been like 3 days, but let's face it, this just feels like maybe it has been forever. Whether you're enjoying it or not, it's just kind of been different. And different just takes some getting used to. But on the other side of that boredom is creativity, learning, and before they know it, fun. So don't be afraid to give them a little bit of time to get bored and figure out what they're going to do to entertain themselves. We can't be cruise directors 100% of the time. I mean, there's just not enough hours in the day. There's not enough mental bandwidth for us to plan activities for them to keep them on the go all the time. And I know that we've heard this before, and it does sound very cliche, but as far as my childhood was concerned, I can't ever remember my mom and dad planning that many activities for us to do. Oftentimes, we would go outside, we would play in the neighborhood, we would ride our bikes, and we would find things to do in our rooms with our toys, or other things too. It didn't have to be toys. I remember just finding things in the yard to play with and having some really good creative fun. Just keep in mind that creativity and fun lies just on the other side of boredom. And although it may not be comfortable at first, eventually they'll know where the boundaries are and what to expect. So don't be afraid to let your kids get a little bit bored. And be prepared that you're going to have to use some mental energy to get yourself through that and let this actually be a learning experience for them. Now, we've talked in the other series videos about giving our children an opportunity to rest. That is a time when their brain is going to be recovering from all of the things that they've been taking in for the day. So the other tip that I have for you is don't be afraid of rest time. We all need a little bit of quiet time during the day to just settle back down so that we can be ready and re-energized to learn again. So at our house, we do a mandatory nap time. It does not have to include an actual nap. They can sometimes read books in their beds or just play quietly in their rooms, but there's no screens, and they have to be in their bedrooms with the door closed for that set period of time. And let me tell you, based on our experience, if they're tired, they sleep. If they're not tired, they have that restorative time. So my best tip today is take those tasks that have to be done that you're dreading and do it first thing in the morning. That is when our energy is typically the highest, our mental capacity is the highest, and I think we'll find that those tasks really aren't all that difficult. So when I say eat the frog, I mean do a task, get it done, and everything else the rest of the day will be a total cakewalk. So this applies not only to our housework or other projects, but also to the work that our children are doing as they are actually doing their schoolwork from home. There may be tasks that they don't want to do, and they're going to put it off if you allow them to.
So let's do a little recap. First, we want to let our kids get bored, because where does creativity lie? Yes, just on the other side of boredom. Next, we want to let our kids rest. And I totally get it. It may not be that we are letting them rest, more so that we are making them rest. But trust me, we all need a break from each other at the end of the day, and sometimes in the middle of the day. It's important to keep in mind that as we are schooling from home, many of us are working from home, and this may be the most time that we have spent consecutively with our children in a very long time. And that takes a lot of mental bandwidth from both us and our kids. We really need that break sometimes just to regroup, reset, and get back on track. And the last tip was to absolutely eat that frog. Do the dreaded task first thing in the day. And after that, everything else is going to be a breeze. You can move on to more fun things and really let that creativity fly.
I'd love to hear the ways that you maybe help your kids to get past that boredom and find their creativity. How do you keep them entertained while they're outside without you having to be there as the cruise director? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your ideas and visit with you in the comment section. And be sure to subscribe. It's absolutely free, and it'll notify you when we have new videos that are posted if you tap that little bell right next to the subscribe button. I've really enjoyed spending time with you today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. The light at the end of this tunnel that is schooling from home. It sounded good, right? I don't sound. The dog just was. Did someone call my name? Oh gosh. Y'all, we're at that point in the journey. Are you at that point in the journey? I am.